In 2019, the Central Bank of Belize launched its financial inclusion strategy with an aim to achieve financial inclusion in Belize. To attain that goal, those who access financial products and services must be informed to act in their own best financial interest. That's where the Understanding Financial Institutions and Transactions eBook come into play. We heard from Jair Paul, National Financial Inclusion Analyst at the Central Bank of Belize.
The Central Bank fully supported and collaborated with the Ministry of Education to ensure that financial education is incorporated in the primary school curriculum. So we have worked with them, and this is a grandeur moment because we are launching the ebook, which is going to make it accessible for all students, primary school students in Belize, to have access to basic understanding of financial institutions and transactions in Belize.
These financial literacy tools are geared towards Standard 2 and Standard 3 students. One standout feature is its hands-on activities, teaching kids practical lessons about Belize's financial institutions, the value of budgeting, and introducing them to everyday financial terms. During this live demonstration, these students were tasked with unscrambling words like profit and savings.
Budgeting is important because you need to know how much money you have, and if you don't budget, then you can overspend. And then in the future, when you really need the money, you won't have it because you didn't budget and you overspent.
So have you begun budgeting, or how are you implementing this lesson that you've learned?
Because for school, my mom, she just straight up gives me my money. So I have to go and only spend what I have to. And no, okay, I can only spend $1 on this because I need to buy water.
And that is a lesson on spending and budgeting. But what about exercises in making money?
Well, you can do work like for a child, you can do chores around the house and get paid. And then for adults, you can do different jobs for work.
With that knowledge, this young mind is preparing to take on the world with a sound financial foundation. This is all thanks to her teachers, those who have been trained to impart the lessons outlined in the ebook, like Ashley Rodriguez.
Being the area I come from, yes, because of the socioeconomic background that they have, with this, being that they know it from a young age, then they are able to apply that as they get older, even at a young age from now, in their classroom or among themselves as friends, right? Let's look at the budgeting itself, right? You budget the money you have at school, right? And then you learn about your needs, you learn about your wants. What do you really need? What do you really want, right? What do you want to spend your money on, especially if you have a limited amount in your pocket, what your mommy or your daddy give you, right? And so from there, it builds the skills that they need to survive as they get older, right? Along with the credit system, it allows them to understand, because we know you always have borrow, loan. They always in the classroom or inside the school setting, let me dollar, let me shilling, right? But for them to understand how the credit score system works, where it's a little bit more strict and it has more structure, and if you don't spend wisely or borrow wisely, right, then it's going to affect you as you get older.
Rodriguez and a group of 18 teachers have been equipped to train educators across the country on how to effectively utilize the ebook within their classroom. The Central Bank of Belize says that in 2019, 70% of primary school students were receiving some form of financial education. It expects that figure to increase to 100 with the rollout of the ebook. Reporting for News 5, I am Paul Lopez.